Now we're going to have to use trig, okay? So we're going to just go ahead skip to these. This process you'll probably have to do more often because you might get weirdo shapes. Because it's really just equilateral, triangle, the square, and the hexagon. That's like the 30, 60, 90, 45, 45. I mean, usually you'll get a decent amount of pentagons and octagons, but you also could get like weirdos, like decagon, 11gon, 7gon. So you might have to do this process over. So remember, we did this yesterday, so hopefully it's not like the worst thing ever, but you like picture the shape in a circle, and you just have to figure out like each pie slice is like how many sides there are, you know, so like pentagon, there's 5 pie slices. So like to find the measure of angle 1, you're going to take 360, so same as yesterday, 360 divided by 5, and you get 72. So all the little slices are 72, 72, 72 everywhere. And then like the juice of it is being able to get like the stuff in this triangle, because then you can do like figure out like side lengths and apophthegms and whatever. So for like the measure of angle 2, same as yesterday, you're chopping one of the pie slices in half. So whatever you get for like the first one, you divide by 2. So pentagon 100% of the time is 36 degrees for that triangle there. So I usually stop with that. That's only really an angle I use. So I'm going to use like SOHCAHTOA, as you can probably imagine. And I usually use the 36. But if by chance they ask you like what angle 3 is, to find the measure of angle 3, you just do like a 180 thing. So you go 180 minus 90 minus 36. So it's 54. But I usually don't do that, if I'm being honest, with all of these. This guy, so pentagon all the time is 36. So you can like stick that in your brain, but probably not going to stay there very long because it's kind of random. But 36 for pentagon 100% of the time. This one, when you're counting sides for the shapes, I usually put the little slashes on the sides as you go. It's so sad on the quizzes when people can't count the sides. And then like the whole thing's wrong because you're like, it's such a dumb thing, you know what I mean? So like count, like mark it like this. That's usually, it creates the least amount of mistakes. So it's 8, okay? So to find the measure of angle 1, right, you're cutting this into 8 pie slices. So you do 360 divided by 8, so you get 45. And then for octagon, the angle that you're going to work with, because you're going to do all that triangle stuff, is going to be 45 divided by 2. So 22.5, which is kind of a gross number, but that's what it is. So octagon, 100% of the time is 22.5. Okay. I'm going to do, we'll skip this first one. Nah, let's not do that one. We'll go to 2. Okay, so this is a pentagon. Oh, and then on the quiz, there'll be a kid who doesn't know the difference between pentagon and hexagon and treats them all as 30, 60, 90 triangles. So don't be that person. Okay, so pentagon, the angle's 36. Okay, so don't do goofy things. Okay, so the angle's 36. If you forgot, we literally just did it. So you do 360 divided by 5, cut it in half. Okay. So now it's just going to be hardcore calculator stuff for all of it. So you've got, I'm just going to redraw this because this triangle is like tiny, tiny. So the 36 is doing that 360 thing. Yeah.
Can we round?
Yes, I'll show you what I'm going to do. Yeah, you can round as you go. So you're going to put in your 36, and then you're going to have to figure out this little chunk to do perimeter, and then this to figure out apothem. Highly, highly recommend using 2 different variables. A for apothem, and then like X for, I don't know, because that's the best variable, whatever. But that'll like, when, say you do something like goofy in your notes, if you got 2 X's, I don't know which one goes with what. Do you know what I'm saying? So like, just make sure you use different variables, because then I can try to like give you points if you did something goofy. So what you're going to do, again, this is all SOHCAHTOA stuff. I'll just write this out for the first one. But it's all about the angle. So you're looking at angle 36. And if I'm going to do apothem first, because it's first, I'm going to do cosine, because I have an adjacent hypotenuse. So you're going to go cosine 36 equals adjacent over hypotenuse. So your A is 11 cosine 36. Tip tap on the calculator, and you get 8.9. So 8.9 is your apothem, so you can kind of start your formula for that. 1/2 AP, so 8.9. And then for the perimeter part, you're going to use, I would not use the 8.9 because it's rounded. So only use the number that's given, otherwise your answer is like way off. Well, not super, super off, but like use the stuff that's given. So for X, I'm going to do sine, because then I can use the 11. Oops, what am I doing? So sine of 36 equals opposite over hypotenuse. And then I'll do 11 sine 36. And I'll get 6.5, just tapping that out, okay? Now, I don't remember what I did for my key. Sometimes I just keep the 6.5 decimally thing in my calculator, because I know that that goes there. But then I'm going to double it. So if I did round, again, I'm going to be looking at your work. You could just say that's 13, but it's not exactly 13 because this is rounded, right? So if you round to the 10th, it's fine, but just keep that in mind when you're looking at the answer key and things. So like you're going to go 6.5 times 2 times 5 because you need the perimeter. So then that would be 64.7. I did, okay, so this one's exact, right? If I did rounded, that would be 65, right? So it kind of depends on your stuff. Because you rounded, yeah.
Did you not tell us to round?
Either one. So I kept exact values in my calculator, so I have a 64.7, but again, it kind of depends on how you're rounding. Either one is fine. So once you type all that out, you get 287.7 units squared. Okay. All right, so this one's like the worst when you have to do everything. And then again, can't stress it enough, use A for apothem, X for the side, so you don't get them mixed up. Otherwise you have too many X's. Yep, can we get that out of your ear then? All right, yeah. Okay. So let's skip, let's go to 4, how about? We'll just do 2 more. We'll call it a day. Okay. I put this. I want to do this one because people are done with the 16. Okay, so we're going to 4. Different shape, not a pentagon. So you're going to do 360, guys, divided by 8 because it's octagon. 45, cut it in half. So 22.5 is that angle. Disgusting, but whatever. Okay, so octagon, the angle is always 22.5. Now, what people mess up, like obviously there's no A, so we're going to have to do stuff to get that. And we'll figure that out. But like pay attention, it's pointing to the whole side, the 16, so like don't double it. I've seen people double it because like you're used to it. But like 16 is the whole side. So for perimeter, it's actually like for once the easier one. Because all you have to do is take 16 times 8. That's it. So 128. Okay. But then, so people like over double to do perimeter. And then for when they do apothem, they forget to put the 16 in half. So that's like the downfall. So like make sure like when you're dealing with the triangle, cut that length in half. I mean, you guys have been pretty good with the other stuff, but like just make sure. That's like been a thing. And then now you're just going to do 1 trig because all you need is A. So then for this one, for A, that's going to be tangent is, I hate when it does that. Opposite over adjacent. If you need to do this, that's fine. You might have already figured out the pattern. But to solve for A, you like cross multiply, or if you notice the pattern, when you're dividing by A, you just throw your tangent in there. So you're going to tap that out. 8 divided by tangent 22.5, and you get 19.3 for your answer. Okay. And again, you might keep that in your calculator, like whatever that decimal is, as you figure out the area. So as long as you're kind of just cognizant that your answer might be a tiny bit off from the key, you should be fine. Because then you're going to go 0.5 times 19.3 times 128, and then you'll get the answer 1236.1. Yeah.
Would you rather us round it, or would you rather?
I really don't care. Doesn't matter. I usually do exact.
Okay,
So I would do exact because just to get used to like upper level, but upper, yeah, if you do exact, that means you're layering more in your head with the calculator, which is cool. So, all right, so cut the 16 in half, but don't over double it, okay? All right, then we'll do, we'll do this one and call it a day. So this one, lots of sides. Is that an octagon? No, it's not. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A tenagon. Decagon, right? So 360 divided by 10. And then don't forget to cut in half. That's pentagon, remember? So 18. I'm going to redraw this. The thing's too skinny. Okay, this is not drawn to scale, but whatever. We'll be fine. 18 degrees. Okay, again, remember A, X. You know, because then you can get points if you did something dumb. Because then I can figure out what you're doing. So, I do apothem first personally. So what is that? Cosine? Cosine, so you're going to do cosine 18 equals apothem over hypotenuse. Adjacent over hypotenuse. I just said apothem over. Okay. We're doing great. Okay, so it's 19.0 is what I got. Because it wasn't like...
19.
Or just 19. Either one. 20 cosine 18. Maybe. And then perimeter, so this, the more sides you have, the more off it might be, depending on the rounding, because you're like multiplying it more. So for this one, I, again, use the 20. So that'd be opposite hypotenuse, so sine is x over 20. So x is 20 sine 18, and you tap that out, and you get about 6.2-ish, okay? So it's about 6.2, again, rounding, 12.4 would be doubling, and then times 10, okay? But for me, I kept that 6.1 blah, blah, blah number, times 2 times 10, and my perimeter was 123.6. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't round it all. So, again, it's fine if you rounded. I just look at your work and you figure it out. So 19.0, and I actually keep that number in my calculator and then tap that out, and you should get 1175.6 units squared. So that is it. I'll give you your worksheet.